All right, kiddos. So we are working on Unit 1, Lesson 1. Today we're going to be learning about multiplication. Multiplication is super easy. It's pretty much adding the same group of numbers, which is pretty much like repeated addition. And you guys are masters of addition, so this should be a piece of cake. And why it's like repeated addition is because you're just adding the same number over and over and over again. Seems pretty easy, right? Okay, so today we're going to focus on multiplying by fives. So you need to get your whiteboard out. You need to get your whiteboard out and the one that looks like this and a dry erase marker, and then we are going to start. So we're going to start at the 1. So if you can find the 1 on your board, it's down here. I put a little smiley face down here to kind of help you see where we're going to start. And what I want you to do, well, I'm going to show you the first few things I want you to do, and then I want you guys to pause the video and do it on your own. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to circle all the groups of 5. So right here, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to circle this group of 5. So there's one group of 5. Then I'm going to circle the next group of 5. And this is the next group of 5. So I circled 1 through 5 and 6 through 10. And if we count every square in here, there'd be 5 squares in each circle. So I want you to pause the video and circle every single group of 5s all the way up to 50. So I put the other smiley face right here so you know, go only to 50 and then stop. And then share with your partner and then come back and we will get started. All right, welcome back. So hopefully your board looks something like this. Every group of 5 is circled. So now what we're going to do is label each group by 5s. So what I mean is this first group down here, remember 1's down here, we are going to label it 5 because there's just 5. Our second group will be 10 because if we counted all the blocks, there'd be 10 in these two groups. So I want you to, again, go ahead and pause the video and finish labeling each group and then share with your partner and then come on back. Okay, welcome back. So this is what your board should hopefully look like. Every group is labeled from 5 to 50. And now we're going to talk about it. So this one group of 5 is 5. And now we have 2 groups of 5, and that's 10. Then if we went up again, we'd have 3 groups of 5, which is 15. And then 4 groups of 5 is 20. Is that making sense? I hope it is. So 5 groups of 5 is 25. So if we counted each group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 5, that's 25. So super easy, you're just using a pattern almost. So if we count by 5s, like we're going to do, I hope you count with me, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. You guys just did your 5s count bys. I bet you didn't even know that's what it was called. So now we're going to put our words into an equation. And when I say, when I say one group of 5 is 5, that's the same thing as 5 equals 1 times 5. And I'm going to circle the 5 because we're adding the same group of numbers, the 5. So let's go to the next equation. So when I say 10 equals 2 groups of 5, I'm going to write 10 equals 2 times 5. Because we have 2 groups of 5. So then if I go to the next group up, we're at 15. So 15 equals 3 times 5. Because we're adding 1, 2, 3 groups of 5 to get to 15. So now I want you to stop the video and finish writing all the equations below here up to 50. So just go up to 50. You'll see 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way to 50. And then share with your partner and then come on back. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully your board looks something like this. I just want to point out that all of the 5s are circled, and I did that for a reason, to show you that the circled 5 represents the group size. So our groups over here, every group has 5 in it. The group size is always going to be 5. So remember how I told you it's just like repeated addition? Here, right here, we added 1 group of 5. Right here, we added 2 groups of 5. So there's different ways to write the equations. We could write it like in addition. You could write the equation either way and it's still going to equal the same. So like we could write it just like we did here, 5 equals 1 times 5, or we could write it 1 times 5 equals 5. It's still the same answer, same equation. Okay, so let's look at this top equation one more time. And let's talk about this 1 and this 5 right here. These two numbers, the two numbers that we multiply together to get our answer, are called the factors. In multiplication, the two numbers you multiply together are the factors. And the answer, this 5, is the product. So don't forget that. That'll come in handy later. Okay, so again, let's go back to this problem. And remember that multiplication is just like repeated addition. So now we're going to write an addition equation next to each one of these equations. So when I write 5 equals 1 times 5, I'm just adding 5 one time. So I'm going to write a 5 next to it. So then when I write 10 equals 2 times 5, I'm adding 2 groups of 5. So my equation, my addition equation, is going to look like this. 5 plus 5. Okay, so let's go to the next one, the next equation. 15 equals 3 times 5. So my addition equation is going to look like this. 5 plus 5 plus 5. So we're adding 3 5s together because that's how many times we're multiplying this group of 5 by. So I want you guys to pause the video, finish writing your 5s, your additions next to each one of these equations all the way down to 50, where you'll be adding 10 5s together because it's 10 times 5, because 5 is the group size. So finish writing all of the equations and then share with your partner and then come back and we'll finish. All right, welcome back. So hopefully your whiteboard looks something like this and you have 5s written all the way down. So I just want to point out that you're adding 5 however many times it tells you to in the equation. So right here, we're at 25 equals 5 times 5. You're just adding 5 times because you're multiplying by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here, we're going to add 5 6 times because that's what it tells us to do in the equation. So we have 6 5s right here that we're adding together. So hopefully you see that pattern, and that's just kind of an easy way for you to visually see what we're doing when we're multiplying. Okay, so let's look at a different way to solve these problems. So I'm going to go back to this page, and I wrote a problem on here. You don't need to write it on your whiteboard, so don't worry about it. So I'm going to write 4, Miss Vervynck messed up. 4 times 5 equals, so we can find the answer to this multiplication equation, this problem, tons of different ways. So you could either add up, okay, because here's our 5. That's our group size. You could either add up 5 4 times, just like we had just done on the whiteboard, but that's a lot of work. So there's an easier way we can do it, and I love this way. All you have to do is use your 5's count bys. So instead of adding all these 5's together, we can just start counting by 5's. So 5, 10, 15, 20. We counted to 5. We counted by 5's 4 times. Oh my goodness, Miss Vervynck keeps messing up. I forgot to tell you guys to get your counting fingers out. So now let's try again. So get your fingers out, and whatever you're multiplying, whatever number you're going to multiply 5 by, you use your fingers to help you count by 5's that many times. So now let's count again. 5, 10, 15, 20. And hopefully you have 4 fingers up. So we know that the answer to 4 times 5 is 20, because all we did was just count there. Super easy. Okay, let's try a different one. Let's do 6 times 5. Okay, get your counting fingers ready. So we're going to count to 5 6 times. So we're going to count to 5 until we have 6 fingers up. So let's start. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right, well, we have 6 fingers up, so the answer to 6 times 5 is 30. How easy is that? All right, guys, so there was a little bit on how to multiply by 5's, and you guys are 5 multiplying geniuses now. So I will check you later.